This is the Warrior Supercast. This podcast will keep you up to date on what's going on in the Winton Woods City School District. Now, I am your host, Dana Gagnon, and today we have with us in the studio Winton Woods social study teacher Patrick Reister, and we have a Winton Woods sophomore, Miranda Johnson. And the reason we have you here is because we want to know more about the Winton Woods girls rowing team. And as you are head coach of the rowing team now, we want you to tell us some more about that. So thank you so much for joining us.
Happy to be here.
Let me start with Coach. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you became connected to this?
Okay. In terms of rowing, I started rowing back in high school myself. Learned to row and then went on to row at college at Xavier University and started coaching there as well. About 20 years ago, I started coaching out there on the Ohio River, and then got a phone call from Mr. Paul Denning, who lives in the district, and he was starting this team up. He had rowed for me a while back, and he called me and got in touch. So we started the program about 4 years ago, and it's been slowly building up every year since. So we love rowing out at Winton Woods Lake and love the lake there, and great to be a part of it.
So that answers a couple of my questions, is how long has there been a rowing team at Winton Woods? Because it's still pretty new. And so 4 years.
Uh-huh.
And we have Miranda here. Miranda, when did you become part of this rowing team?
I joined the rowing team in 8th grade because my sister was on the team, and I didn't have a sport to do after volleyball, and I knew she did it. So I was like, okay, let me just go to practice and see what's going on there. And I've been on it since then.
So that's already 4 years. This is already your 4th year on the team?
Pretty much.
3rd or 4th year? I'm not doing math well, so we'll just go with third year, yes. What do you like? What made you want to stay on that team when you joined it?
Like the team, we're it's fun to be around the girls on the team. Like we goof off, and since I've been on there a long time, they're basically like a family. Like they're like older sisters, and then there's the younger sister, and we all take care of each other even outside of practice, because we communicate with each other even outside of practice and talk and tell each other what's going on. That's
fantastic. You answered one of my other questions also when you mentioned Winton Woods. One of my questions was, where would a rowing team at Winton Woods practice? You practice right in Winton Lake.
We do. Winton Woods Lake is perfect for rowing. What makes it great is because we almost have the lake to ourselves. There are paddle boats out every now and then, but in terms of coaching on the Ohio River versus Winton Woods Lake, I love coaching on the lake, being out there. We've got a great dock, and having the lake pretty much to ourselves in 5,000 meters of rowable water is great for us, because in the fall our races are 5,000 meters versus in the spring they're 2,000 meters. We are a unique sport where we have 2 seasons.
Okay.
I kind of compare it to both track and cross country, where they have different events. So in the fall it's 5,000 meters. We kind of race against the clock. That's the season that we're in right now, where there'll be twists and turns throughout the race course. In the spring it's 2,000 meters, which that's set up more like the Olympics, where you see 6 or 7 boats across, everybody racing at the same time.
Okay. Now, of those 2 types of competitions, which one do you like better?
Well, I guess both of them are fun, because in 2Ks you get to see, and we're like by the boat, and you're like, oh, we're racing each other, we're about to pass each other, keep going. So you're like pushing each other. But during like a 5K, you're just telling each other you're pushing each other yourselves, and because you can't see, you don't really know who's you're racing against, so you're just pushing yourself to just push yourself to get the best time.
Okay, so they both help you develop a different kind of focus.
Yeah.
How many high schools have rowing teams? I don't see a lot that really have that facility, I think.
Right. We are the only public school in Cincinnati with our own rowing team. There are several clubs around the city where high schools come together to form a team, but we are the only scholastic team in Cincinnati currently.
That's really impressive to be a public school competing in this sport where you're not seeing that really. And what an opportunity for students at Winton Woods to be able to become part of that.
Yeah.
When you look at the college level of rowing, do you see your athletes pursuing it into college, and do you see a lot of interest in that?
That is the overall goal. I have had a lot of girls come joining the team, hoping for that at the end of the road. That is something I would love to see more of, because we have great facilities for it, and those scholarships are out there for young ladies to go after. They're not handing away. We still have to work for them to get there, but if we're willing to do the work, I know those will come down the road.
Are you hearing from any colleges yet? Are that they're excited about what they see in your program, or what are you seeing?
That is something I've heard from several coaches. I do have a couple schools that want to come down and see us, which is great. And we're a team that doesn't look like a lot of other teams in rowing right now, so we do get a lot of attention that way. A lot of people do appreciate what we're up to, so that has been a very great part of this job, is seeing that change being made and people recognizing that.
Do athletes have to know how to swim? This is an entire sport done on a lake. Do you have to know how to swim if you want to come out for the rowing team?
Well, when I started joining the team, we took swimming lessons, and that was fun. Honestly, it's swimming's kind of hard, but it's fun. So if you don't know how to swim, you can also learn, and it's fun because you got people who are learning with you, and then we push each other and have fun out there while learning.
That's
So
important.
it's fun.
Yeah, Coach Camp with the Winton Woods swim team actually helped us out and gave our girls lessons. So that's incredibly important. I tell the girls a lot that we don't have to know how to swim great. It's important for us to be comfortable around the water. Mm-hmm. So knowing how to swim is a life skill that these girls will need at some point. So
Absolutely.
we do offer swim lessons with Coach Camp up at the Y, and she's helped us out a lot.
Well, and I only bring that up because I would hate to have someone listening thinking, this looks amazing. You were gracious enough to let me come out and see one of your practices and see if someone could be watching this saying, this is what I want to do. After school, I want to do my workout in a boat on the lake. I want to learn how to row. But I wouldn't want them to hear this and then to say, but I'm not a strong swimmer. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this. And so the answer is come anyway.
Yeah.
Because that can become part of one of the things that you learn.
Yeah, I have had some people, some young ladies, when they joined the team, they felt more comfortable in a life jacket. Now that's fine. Down the road, that is going to restrict the movement just a little bit, but I'm happy for them to do that as long as they feel comfortable.
Sure. And safety.
Yep.
That's important. So, Miranda, what else are you doing in high school besides rowing?
I do student council. I'm in band. I do Chinese club, and I'm hoping to do anime club this year too. And I'm in K-pop club also.
Okay, so this list keeps going. You'll think of more while I'm talking, I think. I feel like. I just wanted to ask that because I am always impressed with all of the programs that Winton Woods as a school district has to offer. And I find that enterprising students don't just pick one. They pick all the ones that you can learn something from. Now, when you think about being an athlete and being on the rowing team, are there ways that helps you in your schoolwork or in the other things that you do at high school?
Well, I feel like being on a sport, since you're with other girls, it helps. It's also contributing to teamwork. And since I went in Woods, we do mostly group-based stuff. You can collaborate more with your people, and you understand that everyone doesn't learn the same, and sometimes you have to break stuff down so other people can understand. So I feel like that, you can put that towards your group work and to get stuff done.
That is a really insightful answer. That the teamwork that you learn is team-based projects are the kind of things that are essential. They're part of the new Winton Woods learning how to be ready for college and how to work in the workplace. And you're doing that on a team. You really have to do that when you're rowing, because you really have to coordinate and be in sync and be a team. You can't have someone decide they're just going to row a different way, can you?
No, that's not gonna work.
Has that happened at practice?
Yeah, then we have to tell, like, come on, guys, let's get it together. We got this. And then when you're, like, rowing together, and you could, like, feel and hear all the seats moving back at the same time, even when you're racing. It's like, wow, that's crazy.
So there's a really powerful feeling when you really all have it in sync.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's not something that every sport really has, that connection. So that is a really neat thing to hear.
Right, there's no kind of standout in rowing.
Yeah.
Everybody's working together at the same pace.
That's really, really important, I think. Can anybody do this?
I think anyone can do rowing, because anyone can learn how to do it. Like, when I did that, my first day, I got in the boat, they broke it down, they showed me, and I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. And even at other regattas, there's some people that aren't, like, they may not be able to, like, do the same thing, but they're out there doing it. Like, they couldn't do it at other sports, like with soccer or football. Like Laika, she can still do rowing, even if she can't really see, because she just has to feel around, and she can do it other than, like, running around.
And that is really important. You have a teammate that would not be able to do other sports without modifications in the sport. But this is a teammate that can be on your rowing team the same exact way without any modifications at all. That's really powerful. That's part of that team again.
Yeah. Having Laika on the team has been great for me, because I'm learning to explain things a different way than I had before. I've focused a lot on showing people how to do something, but it's really tough for somebody that's blind to learn that way. So breaking it down, showing her in the boat, on the dock, what she needs to be doing, but describing it more, using the feel of things, which she is catching on every day, and we're excited to have her on our team.
I saw her rowing with you, and watching everyone work together was fantastic. But also, as someone who's done some teaching, the challenge of making sure that you have to clearly explain everything and come up with the right words for everything is a really neat thing to get to practice too.
Yeah.
So I was really impressed to see all that happening together.
Thank you.
So if someone is hearing this and saying, this sounds amazing, we need to be part of this, my first question is there room on the Winton Woods Rowing Team are there room for more athletes?
There's always room. We're a family. I mean, why not? It's not like a certain number like club teams. They have like over 40 people, so come on, like, just join.
Now, how many athletes do you have right now?
Currently, we've got right around eight athletes. I've got seats where I could have 15 practicing all at once. So, and that's actually been I've told the girls I dream of having both boats on the water at the same time. So we'd love to have more girls on the team, either high school or middle school girls coming out and competing with us, learning the sport, trying it out. If they would like to come try the sport out, reaching out to the athletic office over at the high school, Ms. Schultz will get them pointed in the right direction.
And I'll say that the Winton Woods website has an athletics section. It's very easy to click on and find. So if anybody's hearing this and they're saying, what can I click on? Where should I go next? wintonwoods.org is a good place to find contact information. You'll find everything about the entire school district, but you'll also find the athletic department, and that'll help you find Ms. Schultz, I think. Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. So when it comes to competitions, what is it like when you get there with your team? You've been doing this for 3 years now.
Yeah.
What's it like when you get there?
Well, since a lot of them are like really early in the morning, I feel like we're like waking up with each other, and then like we just have fun, like we goof off like before the race, but then we know like then we have our group huddle. It's time to get down to business and get the boat on the water, and then.
What's the first thing that we got to do when we get there?
Oh yeah, it's fun. Like we put up our tent, right? It's like, and then everyone's like, lift it up, throw the sheet over. I can't reach it, and it's just like joking around, and then we eat together after when we're done and go home. It's fun.
Yeah.
I like that as an athlete, those are the things that you remember from your competition is getting to eat together and things like that, because that's not always what we think you're going to remember, but it's true. That's part of that team. That's part of that being together.
To me, I thought her answer was going to be more of building the boat, because we're the only team that has to put our boat together when we get to a regatta. So I'm glad that doesn't stand out in her mind.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that was one of the things that I was really impressed with is you ladies have to carry your boat from where it's stored at one side of Winton Lake all the way down to where the landing is, where you can put it in the water. And so you all have to be in sync before you're even in the water, because you have that on your shoulders and you're walking that all the way down together. And then when you're done and you are tired after all of that, you have to bring it back.
Yeah.
So that's very impressive. You have a workout before you've even started rowing. And I was very impressed. Is there anything else that you want to make sure that I know about rowing, or that anyone listening can find out about rowing at Winton Woods?
If anybody's interested, just reaching out to Miss Schultz, and she will direct probably you to me, but I just want to make sure that we're doing it the right way.
Well, and that way they can make sure that you get the right, there's athletic forms and there's things like that. And so
Correct.
they can make sure that you have all the right things. I would like to thank both of you for coming over to the studio and talking to me about this. I also want to thank you for inviting me to come see one of your practices. That was very impressive.
Thank you.
I'm really looking forward to getting to see where this grows. It's a brand new team, and watching it growing, it's really exciting to get to see that, and it's happening right here, and we can all see you practicing on Winton Lake. You're not tucked away in a school building somewhere.
Nope.
And wintonwoods.org is where listeners can find information about athletics, but also about academic deadlines, about school calendars, and everything else that you might need to know going on in the district. I would like to end the program today by listening to what some of your teammates told us that they like about being on the rowing team. And thank you so much for coming in to join us. This was the Warrior Supercast, the podcast that will keep you up to date on what's happening in the Winton Woods City School District.
My name's Alana, and I like Winton Woods Rowing because I like the peacefulness that rowing has brought to me. I like the exercise, and I like enjoying, the outdoors and stuff like that, whatnot.
My name is Aaliyah Booth, and I like Winton Woods Rowing because I like spending time with others, learning new things.
My name is Jerisa Whitehead. I'm in the 10th grade. I like Winton Woods Rowing because, it's like a not so much team sport, And my friend Leah got me hooked onto it, and, you get some of your angers out, you exercise. So it's just fun for all. My name's Miranda. I like Winton Woods Rowing because since I joined in 8th grade, I was able to meet a whole bunch of friends when I came to high school, and I knew a lot of upperclassmen, so and they're friendly and fun to hang out with at regattas.
Hello, I am Laika. I am from the Philippines. I like Winton Woods Rowing because it shows that the saying that no man is in an island. It's like all of teamwork and hard work. Thank you.
I tell my girls any day that we get better at the end of practice than we were at the beginning of practice, that's a good day. And if we keep getting better every day, we'll get to where we want to be. So thanks for coming.
We love Winton Woods Rowing!
So you putting in effort. Are you ready?